We'll keep them up for this takeoff, and the brakes, we'll set those to park. Before takeoff checklist complete. Today, we're in the beautiful region surrounding Mount Vernon in Washington State, and we'll be flying Skagit Regional Standard Left-Hand Traffic Pattern for some flight training, with a TPA of 1,000 feet AGL. The charts look good, and we'll have no obstructions during the circuit. I've already tuned into Skagit CTAF, and we'll just scan the area for any traffic before taking off. At a non-controlled airport, we have to use the Unicom or CTAF frequencies to communicate with other traffic in the area, and let them know of our intentions. Non-towered airports are far from out of control. In fact, it's up to the pilot to ensure he or she isn't interfering with any other aircraft flying in and out of the airport. That's why we use the Common Traffic Advisory frequency. I see there's a 152 on the downwind. Let's see if he'll turn base and land.
Skagit traffic, Cessna 439er Kilo, turning base, runway 28, Skagit.
That pilot just informed us that he'll be landing on runway 28. Let's go ahead and take off to not get in his way. Skagit traffic, Cessna 812 Bravo Lima, taking off runway 28, left-hand traffic, Skagit. As we apply full power, let me quickly explain what a traffic pattern is. It's like an imaginary circuit in the sky. It has 4 sides, or legs as we call them, and one of those legs is the departure leg. It's the one we're flying on right now, and it's actually aligned with the active runway. The active runway is the runway used by all traffic landing and taking off from the airport. Since we land and take off into the wind, the next leg in the pattern will be the crosswind leg. We normally turn onto the crosswind leg once we're about 500 to 300 feet below our traffic pattern altitude, which in this case will be 1,000 feet AGL. Just monitor your instruments as you normally would during the climb. You'll notice the little depiction of a traffic pattern in the top right corner. I put that there just so we can better visualize where we are at all times in the pattern. Our first 90-degree left turn is coming up, so I already reset the heading bug and we'll just wait to turn once we're at about the right altitude. Alright, let's begin a nice slow 20-degree left turn towards our next heading. Skagit traffic, Cessna 812 Bravo Lima, turning crosswind for runway 28, Skagit. Alright, let's level the wings and continue our climb. As soon as we level off on our traffic pattern altitude, we have to immediately begin our next 90-degree left-hand turn. Skagit traffic, Cessna 812 Bravo Lima, turning downwind for runway 28, Skagit. Doing standard turns will ensure that you turn onto your next leg on time. And we have to generally keep about a half-mile's distance from the runway while on the downwind leg. You can use visual reference to ensure that you're about a half-mile away from the runway. In this case, I know that the runway we took off from was about a mile long, and the runway we're going to fly over soon is about half a mile. So flying at the end of this runway will keep us right on track. An RPM of about 2100 RPM will give us a nice speed of 90 knots, which is perfect for this pattern. Looking out of the left window now, we can see that we're about to beam the approach end of the runway. It's a good time to now lower our flaps, slow down, and begin our descent. Because we trimmed the aircraft, it's going to want to pitch down because of the loss of speed, so remember to gently pull back on the stick. A descent rate of about 500 feet per minute should be enough to get you down. It's now a good time to look out of the left window again, and wait till we're about 45 degrees from the approach end of the runway. Okay, now's a good time to begin our next 90-degree left turn, onto the base leg this time. Skagit traffic, Cessna 812 Bravo Lima, turning base runway 28, Skagit. If you were wondering, the turn coordinator isn't working. This is because of an FS recorder glitch. While we're on this leg, we can add in another notch of flaps. The final turn does take some practice. It's just a matter of knowing how your plane turns, and knowing where exactly you will be after you've leveled off from that turn. Skagit traffic, Cessna 812 Bravo Lima, turning final runway 28, full stop landing Skagit. We're a little bit high here, so I'm just going to increase our rate of descent. Now's the time to get fully configured for landing. In the case that you have to do a go-around, make sure you announce that on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency. Since we're all flight simmers, we all know how to land in the Cessna 172, right? Just ease back on the power when you're right over the runway, pull up and let the main gear touch down on the ground before you lower the nose. Go easy on the brakes and then find the next suitable taxiway and exit. Skagit traffic, Cessna 812 Bravo Lima is clear of runway 28 Skagit. That's pretty much all there is to know about flying in a traffic pattern. Of course, there's a lot more to it than just flying all the different legs. There's different ways to enter and exit the pattern. But what I've showed here are the basics of what you need to understand about flying in one. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been Erik with Geared On FS. Thanks for watching.